Alright, got a different video today. This is just something I put together as I was helping out a friend who just bought a house maybe 10 minutes away from here. And they're not quite moved in yet. The grass is growing. Well, you'll see the grass is growing in some places, but I offered to help them out and get their pre-emergent down and to just kind of clean things up a little bit. So I wanted to just show you some footage of that, primarily the mowing and the cleanup, and kind of talk through what I was seeing and what stood out to me as I was getting the work done. So with that, let's get into it.
Now, I'd like to preface this by saying that I am not a professional. I'm just a guy who likes lawn stuff, helping out a friend here. You'll see me make a few mistakes, and I promise that if I didn't realize I had made a mistake in the moment, I recognized it while I was putting this edit together. It's pretty interesting to watch yourself work. You see things from a different perspective, and having footage like this is really helpful as I continue to learn. This property is pretty cool. It's around an acre of land, and the primary yard area, front and back, totals about 5,000 square feet or so, which I think is pretty nice, and it's pretty manageable. The rest of the field off the backyard is really going to be used for whatever they want. You can see there that there are some horse stalls, which will get used, and there are some pretty great mountain views, which I can't get enough of. So I started off by cleaning up the edges. I brought over Ryobi's new 40-volt string trimmer with the carbon shaft, and it made really light work of the trimming against the concrete edges around the garden beds and around the fence lines. I showed up without a full battery, and there was still plenty of battery life left when I finished. I believe I even used the lower power setting the entire time, and it was enough for me to get the job done. This model has two power settings available, a lower and a higher power mode, and this is one of several new Ryobi tools I'm testing out this season, and so far it's been really enjoyable for me. For all the other edges between the grass and the walkways and the driveway and the curbs along the edge of the street, I used Toro's 60-volt stick edger, and it did a great job. I got the edges redefined, and they look nice and tight, nice and crisp, and it turned out really well with pretty minimal effort. So before mowing, I just wanted to get things cleaned up and pushed out into the grass so I could just mulch it all in together. And I used Ryobi's new 40-volt leaf blower, the Whisper Quiet leaf blower, and just did my best to keep everything in the grass and just keep things nice and clean. This year I started to use all electric hand tools, and so far I'm really enjoying it. It was a really good decision, and I'm really excited to continue trying out these tools from different brands and seeing which ones I like and which ones have cool features that they offer and things like that. As you've seen, I've got several different brands I'm using here, and I hope to get some reviews and some comparison videos out during this season after I've had more time with them. But overall, I have very positive thoughts so far, especially for everything you see me using in this video here. Backyard grass looks really good for the most part. The previous owner did have a dog, and you can kind of see evidence of that near the concrete there at the bottom of the screen. There were several other spots back there as well. That would have been good to know beforehand, because I could have brought a small rake over and raked those pea spots out really good so the grass could start filling in a little bit faster. On the far side near the tree, it's a bit thinner and it's pretty dirty. It's also bumpier over there. Definitely some room for renovation work, and it wouldn't take much either. The only concern I have is that there is some of that pasture grass from the field creeping into the backyard, especially over by the fence. So there would need to be a little bit of attention paid over there just to treat that and kind of keep it away and see if we can't get that under control. As far as this turnaround here goes, I knew it was kind of an amateur hour move as soon as I did it. I just got into cruise control and wasn't thinking, and went all the way to the sidewalk to turn around, and left some nice tire tracks on the concrete there. It was really fun to get some stripes down. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Toro's Time Master lawnmower lays down some really sweet natural stripes. I think I'll at least mow the backyard once more before my friend and his family move into this house. They just wanted a bit of help before they moved in, and I'm more than happy to do that. But this grass back here woke up really well on its own. Sprinklers hadn't been running yet this year until I had left for the night. I ran the sprinklers to get the fertilizer that I applied watered in. I just put down the local program Step 1, which is pre-emergent along with a fertilizer, and then I put down some granular humic acid as well. Got that watered in when I left. Made sure all the sprinklers were working for them too. We did have one sprinkler head in the front yard up against the brick wall on the far side that needs some attention, but it wasn't enough to really not use the sprinklers. There is some pasture grass from the field making its way into the backyard, which is unfortunate, but I think overall, all things considered, the backyard looks pretty good. The front yard is really thin. Could be because of the shade from the trees, but at this point, I'm not really sure. I don't have any history of the lawn care strategy of the previous owner. I don't know what these trees look like when they have leaves on them or blooms. You can see the tree on the far end flowers really nicely. It's really pretty. That's not enough to really create a ton of shade. The house faces west, so it's going to get plenty of sunlight in both the front and backyards. So I'm not really sure that sunlight is too much of an issue. There are a lot of mature trees across the street as well. There is some nice potential though. We'll have to kind of see what it's like throughout the season. There's a lot of thatch material visible throughout, and there wasn't really a whole lot of growth happening across the front yard. Cleaning up those edges was probably the most satisfying part of the front yard. They looked super clean, and afterwards made a really nice difference. Mowing the front yard, though, felt slightly pointless. It's near impossible to tell from this camera angle, but there was some growth here and there, and cutting it just kind of, gives it that cleaner look, cleans things up a little bit. It's nice to have everything uniform and tidy, even though it's still very early on here, and we're just getting things going. front yard is also pretty bumpy. That was one of the first things I noticed when I started mowing. I think the area near the driveway saw a lot of foot traffic recently, maybe during the move out. My friends have had some people coming over to renovate some things on the inside, so there may have been some foot traffic going on there. And when the grass is dormant and you're putting a lot of foot traffic on it, it's going to look like this, and it's going to take a little bit longer to revive and come back. If I knew better, I would have brought the bag for the mower and bagged everything that the mower would have vacuumed up rather than just mulching like you see me doing here. There was quite a bit of material that would have been better off bagged. But that's what happens when you go after a job sight unseen, I guess. I'm hoping that the fertilizer I put down before I left and the watering happening consistently now will get things moving, and decisions can be made in a month or so about what next steps could be as far as making this yard more of a showpiece.
Well, there you go. Things cleaned up really nice over there, especially in the backyard. There is some work to do, as expected, with any home purchase. I don't think anybody's really bought a used house and had a perfect yard that they inherited. And if you did, that's probably pretty rare. So, excited to see what they do at the place. I imagine I'll be helping out here and there a little bit. And if there's any chance I can document it, I'll be sure to share it with you. And if you're not already subscribed to the channel, please consider subscribing, and I will look forward to sharing much more with you. Maybe not so much there, but with other projects going around here, around my house, and other things too. But thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.